Hello and welcome to my 1 hour 1 life video. This video is the second part of 3 in a tutorial series I wanted to create to help new players learn about the game and its mechanics. In the last video we went over the main menu and all of the buttons on this page. So today we're going to focus on getting through the tutorial. Hi, I've stopped time here in the editing part of the video to explain a few things before we get started. When you first load into the tutorial and game, you're born without clothes, which means your hunger starts decreasing fast because you're cold. The tutorial talks about this later on, but there are a few things I wanted to point out to you before we can do the tutorial. Starting out, I wanted to explain the game's UI or interface. We can see the randomly generated character for this life. In the tutorial, you are always born as an Eve or as a young woman. During the tutorial, you will not have children, but if you spawn as an Eve in the real game, you'll almost immediately start having kids. This means many lives start pretty hectic. Looking at the UI more, you'll see alerts up here in the top left-hand corner. This is how the tutorial guides you, and this is where orders from leaders will appear when you join a real family. Down here, we can see what food my character is craving, the food meter, and the temperature bar. We'll learn more about each of these in more detail throughout the tutorial. I'll also explore them in the next video where I walk through a life with you. Finally, here on the UI, you can see what an item is by hovering your mouse over it. The tutorial stones are like a path through the tutorial, so it's important to pay attention to them. Now we'll unpause and get into the tutorial. You have not been born into the game yet. This is the tutorial. Click the left mouse button to walk. The tutorial takes 15 minutes, we'll learn cool stuff, and there are even some tips and tricks in this video. We can skip the tutorial by walking through the door to the south. I don't want to skip the tutorial right now, so I'll add another clip towards the end of this video showing how to skip it. Let's keep going. Fair warning, this works just like the real game. You can die in here if you're not careful. Navigation is automatic, even around complex obstacles. Open the door, then click an onion to walk there and pick it. We're going to click on the door to open it, and let's keep going. Starvation means certain death. Click an onion to pick it. Click yourself to eat. Pick and eat more until you are full. So we'll pick the onion by clicking it with either the left or right mouse buttons, and then click on the person to eat the food. We can see that when we do this, it increases the amount of black squares at the bottom of our food meter. Each one of these is called a pip. Some foods fill up more pips than others. Click and hold near the edge of the screen to keep walking in that direction. This is useful for long journeys. Click the branch to pick it up. Click the rock up ahead to try using the branch on the rock. So we'll pick up the branch and keep moving. Here's the rock. Let's use the branch on it by clicking our mouse buttons. No, nothing happens. The tab key pages through ideas. So I'm pushing the tab key to cycle through these options. A branch isn't on the list of things that will work on a rock. Getting hungry? Yes, we are. Right-click an empty ground tile to drop the branch. Make a sharp stone, take it with you. So using the crafting menu, we can see that a stone on a big hard rock makes a sharp stone. The tab key shows that a sharp stone works on many things. I'm using tab to move forward, Control tab jumps forward 5 pages, and Z tab goes backwards. This can be useful when you forget how to do a recipe and don't want to open ONetech, but it's not the best tool to learn how to craft. You're probably pretty hungry at this point. These are a bit harder to eat than onions. We can see down here that a sharp stone on a wild carrot makes a dug wild carrot. Let's click the carrot with our stone. Great, now the carrot is on the ground. To pick it up, we need to set our rock down by using our right mouse button to drop it. If we click the burdock, we can see we need to cut that too. Eating unique foods increases a variety bonus multiplier above your food meter. Eating a meh food skips the bonus. If we pick up this garlic, you can see it says yum here. I know that's a little hard to understand. Just watch for yum and meh above your food meters when eating. See, if we hold this wild onion, it now says meh because we have already eaten a wild onion in our life. A mono diet is way less efficient than a diet full of variety. But of course, sometimes you have no choice. Hi, I'm back in edit mode. I wanted to talk about this a little bit longer because the yum and meh mechanics are very important. The basic rule is that if you are in a town with plenty of food and a garden, you should only eat yum foods. This is called yumming. If you maximize your eating in the game, then you won't worry about starving to death or killing your entire family because you ate all the berries. Do not eat all the berries. I'll talk about this more in the next video, but I wanted to pause here to highlight the importance of only eating food that says yum. That means only eat one type of food in each life. Although if you're about to starve, then it's better to eat anything than to starve to death. Make a basket, right-click the basket to put the sharp stone inside, take the basket with you. Here I have ONETech open. If you need to learn how to get here, please go check out part 1 of the series. We're going to look up the recipe for a basket. Here it shows that 2 reed bundles combined together make a basket. To get a reed bundle, you need to harvest tool using a sharp stone. So let's make the sharp stone, cut the reeds, and create the basket. Hard to see, but there's a vertical door here. Click the door to open it. Watch for more vertical doors up ahead. Drop the basket, then right-click to remove the stone. Put some food in the basket to take with you. If you left-click the basket, then it does not remove the stone, but picks up the basket instead. Learning the left versus right click in the game can sometimes confuse and frustrate players. Please remember to be patient with yourself and others so we can all do our part to keep the game fun and chill. The basket only has room for 3 items, so with the stone we can only bring 2 foods. Hold space to freeze the camera while you work in one area. Now you can stoke the fire without fighting the camera. So we'll drop our basket here and remember to bring it with us later. I see 2 wooden doors, so we need to open those. To stoke the fire from hot coals, we need to place kindling first. This makes a fire. To stoke the fire here, we have 2 options. More kindling or a firewood. If we use the kindling, we see that it makes a large, fast fire. It's good when you're in a pinch, but terrible if you're trying to survive. This is because this version of the fire only lasts for 1 minute, and the fire is critical to the family's survival. The fire is needed to make food, smith, and even to get water at some stages in the game. So it's best to keep it from going out. Once the fire goes out, it can be difficult to start a new one, based on if you have the resources needed. So it's just best to keep the fire from going out in the first place, and to do that, it's best to be efficient. See, it's gone out, and that wasn't much time. Let's add a firewood to it instead. This makes a large, slow fire. This is the type of fire you want to keep in the nursery because it takes less fuel to keep it going and because it lasts for 4 minutes, which is 4 times longer than the fast fire. Release space to unfreeze the camera. It resumes moving automatically when you navigate. Your body blocks this box when standing near it. Hold X to click through yourself and other people. You consume food more slowly when your temp meter is in the middle. Stand by the fire to warm up. Too cold or too hot speeds up hunger. Walls and floors hold heat in a larger area. Close the door to stop them from leaking out. Here we can really see how fire affects temperature. Out here, we're pretty cold. Once we step inside, we warm up a tiny bit. If we close the door, we warm up quite quickly. And if you stand on the fire, then you'll be too warm. Cold areas dramatically increase your hunger rate. Warm up here before crossing the snow. Clothing reduces your rate of heat loss. While holding clothes, click yourself to put them on. Here's a cold biome. Each biome has unique trees, culture, creatures, and resources. There's a lot of biome-specific information, but that's for another day. Excessive heat can be just as dangerous as cold. Clothing can protect you from heat too. Here we can see that the vibe is very different across different biomes. If you ever need to remove clothing, just click them to take them off. Press enter and type, and then press enter again to speak. You can say longer and longer phrases as you get older and older. Press enter to speak again, or press up arrow and down arrow to cycle through previously spoken phrases. Say I am Jones to set your last name. Mouse over yourself to see your name. See, now we're Eve Jones. Say you are Sally to set the first name of your held baby. Try it later when you have a baby in the game. Hold the stone, then say hatchet, and press enter to show only hatchet making steps with tab. Say slash by itself and press enter to go back to the full, unfiltered tab list. Press up arrow until you return to slash hatchet. Press enter to enable the filter again. A final challenge. Make a hatchet to chop kindling. Get the fire going again. Light the torch. You can use a lot of tools to learn how to do things in the game. You can use the tab system in the game, use OneTech to see the tech tree, use visual guides on the subreddit, or watch people play to see the combinations. The tutorial even has a little door over here to help you with this part if it gets too confusing. Head south for hints, but only if you're really stuck. You should try to figure this out on your own first. Milkweed stalks make thread. 2 threads make rope. Carve the branch 2 times with sharp stone. You get a short shaft. We have 3 branches for 3 chances. Here, I'm going to show you the 3 versions of this interaction. This first one makes a long straight shaft that can be used for lighting fires. The short shaft is used to make the hatchet, so we'll take that with us. The last one is stakes, which can be used for a lot of things, but is not what we want right now. Tie the rope on the end of the shaft. Now put the sharp stone on the tied shaft. We made a hatchet. A hatchet can make kindling out of branches. Put kindling on hot coals to get a fire going. Stick a long straight shaft into the fire. You get a firebrand. You can use the firebrand to go back and light the torch. We're not going to do that, instead we're going to go back and I'll show you how to do this again up there. We are back here in the challenge room, so remembering we need to make a rope, a sharp stone, and a short shaft. The sharp stone is a stone on a big hard rock. The rope is 4 milkweed combined into 2 thread, and then into a rope. A short shaft is a straight branch cut with a sharp stone twice. Now we can add the rope to the short shaft and add a sharp stone to that. And we've made our stone hatchet. Let's cut these branches to stoke the fire. Finally, we can use the long straight shaft to get a firebrand again. We'll use this on the torch. Tutorial complete. After you die, you'll start your next life. A deadly pit of rattlesnakes is provided for your convenience. Thanks, Jason. We can see here that when you're bit, it makes the screen bloody. We can't pick up anything. We have some bite marks. And when we call for help, our text is red. this is what the death screen looks like. We're back in the tutorial, so I can show you how to skip the tutorial if you ever need to. Again, please don't play the game without doing the tutorial at least once. Players try to be understanding of the steep learning curve that new players face, but patience sometimes can only go so far. So we skip the tutorial by walking through the door to the south. The tutorial mostly teaches us the controls. If you skip it, you'll have to figure out the controls for yourself, which can be a frustrating task. So it says, okay, you really want to get out of here. Light the torch to end the tutorial. This task can be difficult to do if you didn't complete the tutorial, but I'll show you here how you would do this part. Again, cannot stress enough that I recommend playing through the tutorial at least once on your own before playing with a real family. Now we can die by rattlesnake. After the tutorial, you don't begin a new life immediately. Instead, you spawn into what is called the Wilderness Challenge. Basically, it's a solo player mode to allow you to mess around with surviving. We can survive on our own, die of old age, or walk west to bypass the challenge. I'm going to walk west, but let me know in the comments down below if you'd ever like to see me do the Wilderness Challenge. I also wanted to point out that in towns you might see a road that looks like this, a smooth gray road. If you click it right, you can run down it for fast traveling. We know how to do this part, so let's go swimming with the snakes. In my next video, I'll play through a family to show you how to play a life in the game with other people. Thanks for watching. Bye!